Josh Smith here, corporate video producer. I have a work trip coming up, and I thought it might be a fun idea to take you along with me. On this trip, I'm going to be doing some business videos, or filming them. I'm going to be producing them. I'm also going to be doing some general videography, capturing some B-roll of a trade show, as well as maybe a few breakouts and a few talks. So if you kind of want to see the behind the scenes of what I'm going to do for this trip, follow along. It should be a good time. I think you'll learn something, and I'd love to have you along. So the gear that I'm bringing is an R5C, so I checked my camera kit and all my gear about 5 days ago, but I'm bringing an R5C camera, Canon. It's a pretty good camera, it's solid, it's good for a run and gun. The only thing that I don't like about that camera is the fact that the battery life just sucks. It's just terrible. So I have a power adapter and all that stuff so I can do long form interviews, so that's good. But in terms of run and gun, I do fully expect to have to swap out batteries. Luckily, I have like 6 batteries, so that's pretty cool. In terms of audio, I'm bringing a Sennheiser kit. It's got a Bluetooth, it's got an ice cream mic, kind of dynamic handheld mic on it, and it plugs directly into the R5C without an XLR. There's a little adapter that I can plug into that makes it like 3.5 or something, which is pretty cool. I'm also bringing my DJI mic kit, which is a smaller kit. It's pretty useful. It's nice to have as like a backup just in case. Obviously, all my lighting. I've got apertures, Godoxes, C-stands, all sorts of stuff. You're probably like, how are you getting all the gear down there, right? Because I'm actually in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm in Southwest Ohio, and all the gear is going to New Orleans. I actually work for a company that deals in AV. One of the things that we offer is creative services. Within those creative services is video development, video production, those sorts of things. If an organization, firm, institution, whatever is hosting a big event and they're hiring us for the AV to do the big sound, big projectors, big lights, all that stuff, it could be a conference, whatever. A lot of times those organizations are like, you know, we're going to have all these players here. We should try and get some interviews. We should try and get some content. That way we can utilize it in the years going forward or in the months going forward. What they do is they say, hey, do you guys have anyone who could come down to film? The answer is yes, that's me. With all the gear going down there, AV-wise, I take 2 Rode cases, I load them up, throw them on the semi, and they're down there by the time I get down there. It's a pretty nice perk. So we have our stools for our interviewees tomorrow, our DJI Ronin, various other kits and lights and stands and all sorts of goodies. I do have audio and camera over there that are just charging, making sure that the batteries are topped off. All the gear is basically here. I appreciate the AV guys bringing it. I'm gonna tie this down now. We're gonna go film some stuff tomorrow. Production day, number 1 of 2. So I got my gear on the cart. I just wheeled it over here. What I did last night was I ordered and reserved a Uber XL. So this gear probably, once I collapse it all down, this cart and everything is probably equivalent to the footprint of about 3 large suitcases. So I'm assuming with just me, 3 large suitcases, no guests or other riders, this Uber XL driver is going to be okay with it, but we'll see. The Uber driver was just fine with it. For today, we filmed at 2 different facilities. At each facility, we would start with B-roll and then we would close with interviews. By the time we got to the interviews, it was nice and overcast, so we kept it pretty light in terms of lighting and used a lot of natural light to get us there. The facility footage and filming went really, really well. And then I wrapped up my day with heading back to the conference and filming some B-roll, which I will toss it back to past Josh because he found a pretty cool technique. I just want to show you how I was getting shots on the trade show floor like this, where this is kind of jib-like movement where it's really sweeping, or even these like drone-like shots that you see that I kind of just capture way above the crowds of people, and it's almost like a drone is in the room, is in that big kind of hall. That is thanks to this contraption right here. So let me walk you through it. We've got our monopod right here. This can condense down to I think about maybe 2 feet. But right now it's at its full length, which is probably around 6 foot. We have our gimbal, and then we have our camera on top. The gimbal is set to a lock pan, so that means it's not going to move on this axis. It's just going to stay and only allow for panning. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to get these really sweeping, on-the-fly jib shots. So you can like really kind of move up, get a big crowd shot or like a big shot of a building. This is also an incredibly useful tool to kind of do like a quasi-drone shot outside if you don't have a drone license. I just really like this contraption. I think it's solid. It basically just extends the gimbal. That's all it does. So after a long day, I backed up all the footage that we captured. That was the event coverage and the corporate facility stuff. Double checked it, made sure it was backed up, and then I hopped on a shuttle, went back to my hotel room, went up an elevator, went to sleep, and woke up to do it again the next day. Today was all about event videography. Started getting crowd shots, filmed a lot of things. There was a general session, covered that, then they had a whole mess of breakouts. There's not a whole lot of variation that you can do, so I kind of just do some wides, close-up, close-ups, make sure I get a few close-ups of people paying attention, maybe nodding along, maybe perhaps they're having a conversation here or there. And then we actually went and filmed a cocktail reception. This thing was unique. So we filmed, it was called Mardi Gras World. And it was like all the floats of Mardi Gras, or like a lot of the floats of Mardi Gras. It was kind of trippy. If you went through there at night, it'd be like a haunted house. But during the daytime with the lighting, it was kind of sweet. And then we went to like this kind of almost like a Princess and the Frog enclosure, turn of the century feel, really cool. And all of this, it'll be used for multiple different things. This footage, it'll be used for promotional material. It'll be used for kind of image spot looks. I mean, video is incredibly diverse in how you kind of roll it out. My whole process was I had two cameras. I had the R5C behind me, and then I actually had my phone camera. I'm actually not the biggest fan of phone cameras, but I am realistic. I was the sole videographer, so I needed a second camera that could be whipped out really quickly, and I paired it with a gimbal. Assuming the lighting looks right and I'm just getting a wide shot, it just makes for great quick gimbal shots. I don't have to worry about it. Capturing the moments is way more important than the overall production quality. Now, don't get me wrong. It's important that it looks good, sounds good. I'm just saying, don't build a system or a camera kit that is going to prevent you from capturing a moment. I have seen videographers and photographers before. They will take the camera and get it right up in front of someone's face. Now, when you're at a conference and you paid to be at that conference, the last thing you want is a camera right up in your freaking face. So use a lens with a far throw. If you don't know what a far throw means, that means it has a very far, I think focal length is the term. Anyway, I used a 75 to 300, which allowed me to be basically across the room 50 feet away and get a close-up of someone. That works well, especially if the convention or event that you're covering is wide open spaces. It works phenomenal because you can be far away. They don't have to worry about you, I guess, eavesdropping or just kind of being in their way, and it doesn't make them nearly as uncomfortable. They still might see you, but they're not going to like stop their conversation because you're there. You know what I mean? Because that's the last thing you want. All right, today was the last day of production, event videography type coverage. There was only one real session and a couple smaller ones that I had to get and make sure I got. I had my two big rolling cases that I made sure all of my gear was put into. Made sure I double checked my cameras, double checked my audio, put it all in, packed it all up, made it so nothing would shift around. And it should be back at essentially my employer in a couple days. So since I'm in New Orleans, I had to go and get some beignets to take home to my wife. I think she's gonna really like them. Event videography and just kind of traveling for work as a professional video producer, it can be exhausting. It can be a little trying. You have to be flexible. You have to be accepting that things are gonna change. Hindsight is 20/20. There are certainly things I would have changed on my approach on certain things, but all in all, you know, I do a fair bit of these. This one went pretty smooth. I hope watching this vlog that you learned something. I hope that you gained something, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.